Hi there, this is Danielle Tremblay of WhiteLightConnection.com, Animal Communicator. I have a few tips for those of you who are interested in deepening your connection with your animals in just a matter of a few moments, few days, using a few very simple techniques. The first one being, we animal enthusiasts are always talking out loud to our animals. We're talking to them saying, you're such a wonderful boy, good girl, let's go outside, pick up the canner. We use these words out loud fairly often. Now, I would encourage you to take everything you would normally say out loud and begin to take that dialogue internally. In other words, I want you to start thinking what you normally say out loud and send it towards your animal. And what do I mean by send it towards? What I mean is basically just make it your intention that your animal hear you on a thought level. Okay? Now, my cat Lyra once explained to me that, in a given day, she spends about 90% of her time when she's awake in silent mode. In other words, she only spends about 10% of her waking day thinking thoughts to other beings, whether it be to me or to the other cats, or just thinking kind of out loud, if you will, to herself. So she spends quite a bit of time in inner silence. Okay. With that said, that's a great opportunity for her overall to actually hear me when I'm thinking towards her, whether I'm in the same room or not. So your animal may be slightly different percentages wise and how much time they spend in silence than Lyra. However, they're going to be probably somewhere along those lines, and hence there's ample opportunity for them to hear you. So I'd encourage you to start thinking towards them consistently and see what you can do as far as, just taking the outer dialogue and maybe even, for an experiment, if you will, for a week's time, not really saying anything to them aloud, but if it's time for dinner, mentally say to them, it's time for dinner. If it's time to go for a walk, mentally say to them, it's time to go for a walk, and see what happens. Watch their body language. My dog's Weimaraner, Benny Boy, he was once laying on the floor and he looked like he was sound asleep. He was snoozing, the eyes were rolling back, and all of that. And I remember I was standing there in the kitchen and one of my nieces dropped a cookie crumb on the floor. And, I just kind of sent the thought towards Ben. I said, Benny Boy, a cookie crumb just fell on the floor and it's located near the dining room chair. So anyway, in about a matter of 3 seconds of me thinking that towards him, his eyes snapped open. He instantly went to his feet. He went over to the location that I had talked about in the dialogue, and he ate the cookie crumb and went back and laid down. Now, it was like a pretty cool thing to see, and you may get to see things like that too if you play with this. Now, there's been other times, I've indicated stuff on the floor to him when he's been in sleep mode or rest mode before, and he didn't hear me. And, it just depends on whether he's, focused upon what's going on in the environment or not. So don't expect your animal to, jump at everything you think or say. However, begin to build this rapport with your animal so they do start to have an interest in listening to what you have to say, because the outer dialogue is actually decreasing. Okay. The second thing is, watch your belief system. Your beliefs hold so much value in how you create your life and living. So if you believe that you can communicate with your animal, then that is a real possibility for you. If you have the belief system of, I don't think I can communicate with animals because I wasn't born that way, or I don't have any known intuitive abilities that I'm aware of at this point. Okay, your own beliefs about what is true, what you think is true about you, and what you don't believe is true about you will have a huge impact on whether something's possible for you or not. So I'd encourage you to play with the idea, even if you've got to fake it till you make it, by telling yourself, you know what, I believe I can communicate with animals. I believe I can hear the thoughts of my pets. I believe they hear me. And watch what happens. And then the last technique I want to leave you with today is actually, asking questions, especially of the divine, universe, God, goddess, whatever you believe in. Ask questions such as, what's it going to take for you to show me that indeed I can hear animals? What's it going to take for my horse and I, dog or cat and I, to have a relationship that's far deeper than what we've had up to this point in time? What's possible here? Just by asking those questions, you put out what you're desiring, really, to the universe. And, just let go of the question after you ask it. You can ask it every day if you want, multiple times a day. You can even ask your pet to please assist you in showing you how they, that the fact that they are indeed hearing you when you communicate telepathically with them, with your thoughts. But really just ask it and let it go. There really is something to the saying, ask and you shall receive. okay? If you ask and let go of any attachment to a certain outcome, you're going to start to see the universe is going to bring you synchronicities your way that's going to demonstrate to you that, yeah, indeed this is so, or it's not so, or this is true for you, or that's not true for you. It's going to basically answer your questions. So those are 3 very simple techniques on how to deepen your relationship with your own animal family right now. I wish you the best.